So last time we talked about the price that comes with love. If you confess that you love someone, definitely there is a price that you have to pay. Call it time, call it affection, call it material things. All these things will be proof that you love someone. And by the end of the day, it is very important for you to understand that you will get what you give in return. You know, when we go to the bank account and we deposit money and we are asking through the ATM for the bank to give us money, we get what we have already deposited. Maybe the reason why you're not getting the utmost price of love is because you have not been bringing in the cost that comes in with love. You get what you deposit. And today, I want us to look at a different angle when it comes to love. We're in the month of February, where it is confessed it is the month of love, but I believe every day, every moment is a time to express your love to your loved ones, to your wife, to your spouse, and even to your children and the rest who we are supposed to. And what are we going to talk about today? Because there is one thing that I've come to realize, that God never blesses who you pretend to be. He blesses who you are. Let us see more of this immediately after the introduction. God does not bless who you pretend to be. He blesses who you are. And sometimes these are things we take for granted. These are things that we take on the surface level because we believe that once we present ourselves to God, once we go in the presence of the Lord and tell God, this and this and this is me, this is who I am, this I have accepted who I am, that this is who I will always be, and you think that God is going to accept you the way you are. You know, these are some of the statements we are hearing with the LGBTQ society, whereby they confess and say that God accepts me the way that I am. And you think just because you've made peace with your mistake, you've made peace with some things that happened in your past, that God is going to accept you? No. God blesses who you are, not who you pretend to be. And by the end of the day, this is something that we need to take very seriously when it comes to love. Let us go straight to the Bible. And we are going to read the book of Mark chapter 11. And I want us to start there at verse 12 so that we can see why some people, just like whatever we are going to read about, they pretend to be who they are not. This is what the Bible is reminding us. Now, the next day, when they had come out of Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing from afar a fig tree having leaves, he went to see if perhaps he would find something on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season of figs. In response, Jesus said to it, Let no one eat fruit from you ever again. And his disciples heard it. This is Jesus. He is on a journey, and from afar he sees a fig tree. And from its appearance, Jesus comes to the realization that it may not lack fruit in it. And I believe he's God and he knew what he was doing. But he went ahead and decided, this fig tree is so much looking appealing and I want to go and get fruit from it. But when he went there, alas, there was no fruit in this fig tree. And what ends up happening is this, that Jesus curses the fig tree just because it was presenting itself to have fruit, yet it didn't have fruit. Sometimes, even as we are studying in theology and in the past times, and when you study the fig tree, you understand that when it is not having the fruit, it drops down its leaves. And now, right now, it is having its leaves, and the expectation of Jesus is that this tree must have fruits because it already has leaves on it. And by the end of the day, he doesn't find. Maybe we might look at this fig tree as an analogy whereby we as ourselves pretend to look like something we are not. Sometimes we pretend to be these people who have all these things in life, but at the end of the day, we are living beyond the means that we can afford. Sometimes we can present ourselves as very important people. We want to sit on the front seats. We want people to identify and to recognize us. But our place is actually the lower place place where we need to sit there so that it can be called up. Sometimes we present as completely different of who we are. And at the end of the day, when you come to love and you're presenting yourself as something you're not, I will assure you this, that relationship will not work. That partnership will not stand. That relationship will never hold water. Why? Because from the beginning, we have presented who we are not. And at the end of the day, just like the fig tree, what happens? That relationship is cast. That partnership is cast because we presented ourselves as people who we are not. At the end of the day, I want to encourage you, be who you are. God will bless you for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. God knows your inner thought. God knows your inner character. God expects you to present yourself as you are to Him so that He can work on you. He can work on your heart. He can work on your character so that at the end of the day, no one will get the glory. No one will get praise that it is because of so and so that this person is like this. But it is only God who will get the glory, because we shall say, if this is William, then there must be a God in heaven. If this is how he has been transformed, then there is a God in heaven. Present yourself the way you are to God. Don't pretend to be who you are not. Should be in the book of Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 7, and the Bible says, there is one who owns a lot and pretends to be poor, and another one pretends to have it all, yet he is very poor. It is for your advantage that you be who you are, who God called you to be. Even Paul, when he was writing to Timothy, he told him, make sure to fulfill the calling and to remain as you've been called by God. Because at the end of the day, it is not who we pretend to be, it is who we are that God comes through for us. Even as we are in the month of love, be very careful and come out as you are. Them that will love you will love you. Them that will despise you will despise you. At the end of the day, not everyone will love you. Not everyone will be happy because of your achievement. But be happy about yourself that this is who I am. I am taking steps to change gradually, and I know by the grace of God, I will become the masterpiece that God called me to be. This is the Faith Crusaders, where we are all about revealing Christ-like attitudes of awakening. God bless you, and see you in our next episode.